What's good, y'all? It's your main daughter, Professor Rance. Today, we have something a little bit different. Today, we're going to be breaking down the film of one of the best, if not the best defender of the 2010s. Small forward/guard, Tony Allen. And what makes him so superb at the game of basketball, specifically defense. Without further ado, roll the clip. Tony Allen's assignment in this situation is no other than Damian Lillard. It's obvious at this point that Tony is simply being beat off the screen, forcing the defensive's eyes onto Damian Lillard. And this is what I mean by constantly being on the basketball. Tony Allen could have simply gave up and let Zach handle Damian in the interior and accepted the switch. Rather than that, Tony rushes back to Damian as a help defender, swatting the ball and resulting in a turnover on the other end. Even on the opposite side of the ball, when a Portland player grabs a rebound, Tony Allen is right there to clean it up and reset the play on offense. Tony Allen's constant pressure on the basketball and off the basketball also makes him a pest on defense. There's one trait that Tony Allen has on defense that separates the rest. That, in my opinion, is his defensive IQ. You see, defense often does not come down to how tall, fast, or strong you are compared to your assignment. Though they do play a part, the number one thing above all that will be your deciding factors on how good of a defender you are is your IQ. Tony Allen knows when and where to get to his spots on the floor, when to gamble, and when not to gamble. A prime example of this is this clip we have of the Trailblazers once again, in the Trailblazers Grizzlies series. Once again, Tony Allen's assignment isn't Damian Lillard, but watch how Tony somehow makes it difficult for Dame and his assignment to make a play on offense. In this clip, Tony chases his assignment, but right before getting to his spot, he does something we like to call a bait and switch, a popular term in basketball culture, which is basically when a defender tags onto a player, then switches back to his assignment. The goal of this is to either make it harder for the ball handler to make a quick play on the ball. Here's another example of knowing when to gamble. This is against the Golden State Warriors in 2013. Tony's assignment in this play is Klay Thompson off the inbound. As Curry inbounds the ball, he tries to get a switch to free up Klay Thompson at the three, and it does, but like the previous clip, Tony is always nearby and never goes too far away from his assignment. Like I previously stated, the separation between good and great defenders is knowing when and where to be at on the floor. And we see a prime example of this in this play. If Tony steps up to bait and switch Stephen Curry and Draymond in the post, this will be what we call a bad gamble because it leaves Klay Thompson open at the perimeter. If Tony stays in his spot, he can watch Curry and watch Klay Thompson and prevent an open look at the same time. Although Curry has forced the defense to collapse with his gravity, the only option is to pass the ball to Klay Thompson, since Iguodala is being covered on his side. As Curry passes it to what supposed to be an open Klay Thompson, there goes Tony, switching back for the steal and the turnover by the Warriors. Based on the previous clips I've shown, it's a no-brainer that Tony Allen's IQ, constant pressure on both sides of the floor, and never willingness to quit on the play stand as one of the few many pillars that make him one of, if not the best defender for his time. But how does Tony match up against the top scorers in the league? The Kobe Bryants, the Stephen Currys, the Kevin Durants, remaining poised. Another great trait in a defender, or any athlete for that matter, is poise. The ability to challenge anybody whenever and remain calm, collected, and above all, focused. Now this may sound like glaze, but check out these clips from the 2008 NBA Finals. Tony Allen's matchup here is Kobe Bryant, one of the best scorers in NBA history, arguably. Tony Allen not only stays calm and focused, but he also uses his IQ and his tenacious effort on the basketball to make Kobe work for every bucket in the series. We see in this clip that Tony Allen is at the right wing with Kobe Bryant as his assignment. He's not panicking, backpedaling, instead, simply showing his hands and sliding his feet when he needs to. His poise and efforts pay off and result in a turnover for the Lakers. Again, the constant effort on the basketball shows yet again, as after he gets jammed by the screen, Tony still manages to get to Bryant just in time, and even then, still showing his hands and sliding his feet, resulting in a stop. To sum it up, Tony Allen's IQ, defensive pressure on the basketball, and constant pressure on both sides of the floor, paired with a desire to make an impact no matter what or who the assignment is, cements him as one hell of a defender that we can all learn from one generation to another.